Hey there, this is a little bit more in-depth view of a planning method that has worked really well for me over the past 5 years. I cannot say enough about this method and how it works for me. So in my last video, I asked if anyone wanted to see a more in-depth look at how I plan out my week and how I sort of manage my life with a paper planner, and it looks like Susan T 1207 really did, so thank you. And I'm doing this video because it was requested, and it's something that I really, truly enjoy. So thank you for watching, and I hope this will be helpful to you. So starting with my most recent planner, so this is 2018, this is a Rhodia weekly book, and just to kind of give some background on why I like to use this format, I love the bound paper format. I used a Filofax for like 10 years after college, and that was really, I love that because of the whole like Filofax community and idea behind it, and the history. I love that. But what I found for me, for archiving and also just for like ease of transportation, I guess more to have everything all together, it was simpler for me to have a bound paper planner, and it really forced me to pare down the stuff that I carry with me. I mean, I already have like tons of stuff in the back, and I tend to like shove stuff in. I tend to be a bit of a pack rat in the day-to-day, and then I'll clear out periodically, but having something that was bound really forced me to pare down. So that's why I use a bound paper format, and I also like to have them all stacked up. I have the past this is the past 4 years and then 5 years here. They're in chronological order, so that's why they're kind of like all jumbled up. So this is the Rhodia that I'm using this year, and I love it. So I start off with kind of an opening page, things that I like, stickies with things to do, but what I also did on the first page, and I just kind of grabbed these. This isn't really, I haven't like neatened this up at all. These are, over the past how many? 6 years. I've chosen one word per year to be sort of the focus of the whole year. So over the past, and I think this is also super helpful. I'm kind of doing like a walk down, a walk through my planner. But I will post these in the description box because I found having just one word, not like a whole big, I do like the whole big planning thing, but just distilling the things that you would like to accomplish in the year down to one word has been enormously helpful as well. So let me know if you'd like to see more about these. I think that there's like a system, it's called like One Word or something, like a book written about this. This has been super helpful and really sort of helps to define things. So let me know if you want to see that, the words that I've used for the past 6 years. So flipping through the Rhodia webbook, and I'll put this in the search. So if you're looking to know more about the Rhodia webbook, it's fantastic, and I can't say enough, but this is kind of what it looks like. There is a calendar, like a yearly calendar, a month view calendar. In the beginning, I don't really use that because I don't flip back to reference it that much. I did a bit in whatever month that is, in August. And I find it helpful if I want to see, like, again, a broad overview, but that's not what I'm using on the day-to-day. So what I am using on the day-to-day, so this is a good example. So this was the week of Monday, January 29th, and screenshot, see what I've done in my life. Things just keep falling down. The blank page, so I'll show you the setup. If I have any important sort of dates or appointments that I need to keep, I will write them on this side. If I have, to sort of explain my week out, I'll put it on the other side, on the full note side over here. So what I also do is on the bottom, I choose like a quote for the week. You can see I chose this one from Hal Borland: "No winter lasts forever, no spring skips its turn." And that was my quote for this week. I put things to do. That's funny. This is things to do before checking your phone, because I felt like I was on my phone a lot and I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to remind myself, and I knew that I would look at this at my planner. So these are the 5 things to do instead of checking your phone. Look outside, doodle, exercise your eyes, laugh, or exercise your body. So that's a little tidbit for you. And my tasks, I was really trying to focus on my day job and working harder at that. So my tasks were to give 150% at work. So that's kind of what I put on this side. And then at the end of the week, what I do is I do like a weekly recap. This is hilarious, of things that happened and how I felt about the week. So I can see at a glance how I felt about it. It was kind of an interesting week in my life. And I remember that because I wrote it in my planner. And it also really helps me, again, to keep track. So I plan out. So on a Sunday, what I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll review and I'll say, what do I have coming up? And I'll look over the previous week and say, how was that previous week? And is there anything that carries over from the new week that I need to put into the upcoming week? And what are the things that I want to accomplish for that week? And I will put that on the notes page next to any appointments I have. And it kind of helps me see how I'm spending my time. It definitely helps me see how I'm spending my time. And I will go back and fill it in retroactively. Like if, for example, on a Friday, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at the beginning of the week, then by the following Sunday, that Friday's already happened, so I'll fill in what I did do, so I can just see it and have a record of it, and see kind of how I'm spending my time, again, how I'm spending my money as well, because normally, like if I say I went out and I did this, I have an idea of how much that probably cost. So that's one way, another way that I track my spending, and that has been enormously helpful. So that's just kind of a brief overview of how I plan, and I don't do it every week. Like this is, you know, I skip weeks, although I would like to, because I feel like it completely helps just to get organized and to know that you're moving in the right direction on the goals that you've set out. Like I mentioned in my 90-day plan video, I have my 3 top goals that I'm working toward before the end of the year, and I am focused on making headway each and every single day on those goals. And it really helps to know where you're going, because if you don't have a plan, how are you going to get there? It's also the whole if you don't know where you're going, or if you don't aim, you'll miss it every time. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, all those sort of like motivational quotes. But you got to know where you're going to get there, is the summary. So this is what it looked like for me in 2018, and this is kind of the way that I've been doing it, again, for the past 5 years. So what I'm going to do that I thought would be interesting would be to like look back on how this all started. So the first year, 2014, was the first year that I used the Rhodia webbook. Or the Rhodia Weekly Planner. And this is the thing, too, why I'm looking for another one, is because I love this format. The 2014 version had, like, the annual planner. I love it, and they're a lot of, it's a great company, and the paper is great quality. That might be interesting. You want to see how they, like the bleed through. So I actually did that. Back in 2014, I was very interested to see the quality of the paper. So I wrote on it and all the different pens that I had. And then you can see on the back, the only one that really bled through is a Sharpie right there. It's expected. So there really wasn't too much bleed through. Let's see. It's funny. If we go to a similar week, so a week in January or February, I did the exact same format. I'd start with a quote from Jim Rohn. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It's something you design for the present. Jim Rohn. And I put my weekly goals over here. And my intention up at the top. And then a full weekly rundown right there. Any appointments that I had. And I definitely filled these in retroactively after the week had already happened. I use a lot of color in 2014. And this is really like very interesting. Oh, my goodness. Put my savings goals that I had. Okay, so this has sort of been a walk down memory lane for me. And I hope this has been interesting for you to see just how I do my very simple, very quick, very effective weekly planning system. So let me know if you are someone that keeps stacks of your planners like me. If you like bound paper planners or like a more modular system like a Filofax, just tell me about your planners, because I love to hear about them, and I could talk all day about planners. So let me know in the comments if there's anything else, if you have any questions, or what your favorite thing is about paper planning. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll watch some more.